She has a Mac OS Monterey Mac Air 12.5, and she's having trouble with the picture resolution and zoom. And when her open screen turns solid blue and then has the default before, I must have changed the settings. I don't know how to get it back.
Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, Diane, I can help you with that. Basically, yeah. So let me just turn this up. Are you there? Just want to ask.
Yep, she's there. Diane, you're there? Yeah. Do you want to unmute? Hold on. Let's just unmute Diane. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. I'm there.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Mac, for everyone that doesn't know, if you do have a Mac OS Monterey is one of the latest operating systems that we're in right now. There's another one coming out, and I'll get the name for you in a second, but that should be coming out next month. So Diane, you will be upgrading the system if your Mac Air is able to take it. So you're
It's brand new. I just bought it a few months ago.
Okay, yeah, Mac comes out with an operating system pretty much every year, so it's always going to be that next level. So there will be another operating system coming out. You're having problems with the picture,
It's like the picture. It's not like sharp the way it was like on my iPad or whatever.
Mhm.
I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if it's the lighting, the resolution of the lighting or whatever. And also I was, looking at the settings, for the different screens that you can put on. And somehow I tried to get it back to the default, but it's blue instead of that fancy, colorful thing that they had when I open up the computer.
Sure. So here, let me share my screen. I'm working on a Mac right now. Let me share this here. And let me go to my system preferences. Can you see that there?
Yeah, should I go to system preferences?
Yeah, so you can go to system preferences and you'll notice that we're gonna go to the displays here. And
Okay, I have my system preferences.
so once you choose displays here at the bottom left, do you see that?
Okay.
Okay. And then like right now, I have mine for the default for display. So how my Mac came out the box, that's where it's at. When you click on scale, or do you have it on scale?
Yeah, scaled.
Okay. So if you want to go back to the default, when you go up, the default for display is going to pretty much give you the best for your screen, looking at the screen resolution, the pixels that's allotted for your MacBook Air. But when you go to scale and you start to change it, you'll notice that things starts to get really big for me. You see that?
Wait,
If you're looking at the screen
I
here.
have to get. Oh, I'm on. That's FaceTime. Zoom. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, so you could play around with yours once we get off the call.
Oh, okay.
Actually, but
so I have the same thing. I have the default display scaled.
yeah, so if it's for the default, like if you just have the default, you could just click on a resolution for the default and it doesn't have to be on scale. You can, play around with your brightness if you like, and make it as bright as possible. The color profile, again, these are the things that came out the box. I have it on iMac. That's what I'm using.
Yeah,
and that's pretty much it for me. Now, also when it comes down to like the background and
like what did I do that I I don't know what I did that I changed it to the blue instead of like you have a picture. I had the default picture on it and I liked it.
Yeah, so you would go to the desktop, you would go back, so you would get out of display and hit this little back arrow here.
And
then you would go to desktop and screensaver here. And then from desktop and screensaver, you can go and choose one of these guys.
Yeah, I thought I did.
Yeah, if you click on one of them, if it has the cloud and the arrow, you have to click on the cloud itself first.
Right.
And then you'll be able to get one of these once they download it, and then you could choose one of those guys.
Okay, but that's the for the desktop. That's not a screensaver.
So screensaver is right here next to it.
Right.
So this is the desktop and screensaver option. So if you want screensaver, that's what this is what the screensaver is.
Right. I thought I had everything default. That's why I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, you can always go back in here and choose whichever one you like.
Yeah. All right. I'll try it again.
Okay.
But I don't know why the picture resolution, it's like funny. It's not really sharp
Yeah, that
on the Zoom
without
or when I
looking at,
see
I
my
mean,
pictures.
for yeah, if you have it on a default for display, that should show you that, you know, what came out of the box. If something else got altered, this is usually where it would get altered, and then you could change like all of these. If these are, this is standard again out of the box. If yours look exactly like,
Okay, so the default and scared is out of the box and
yeah,
scaled.
so I usually leave it on default for display. Scaled is not checked for me. I just have it on default for display. My brightness, again, I can change this all day. I'll
Right.
automatically adjust brightness, and then my color profile for my computer is an iMac. Yours may be MacBook Air.
Just, okay, brightness, true tone should be checked.
Yes,
True tone. I think I have it checked.
yes.
I had it on, but then I couldn't, see anything. I was also trying to make more contrast with my email to make it easier to read. And
Yeah, yeah,
I
when
had
you get
trouble
into
doing
those
that.
settings, I mean, you'll be able to do that. You're gonna adjust those in the accessibility. But that's where you would have to go and adjust what you visually see. And this, the display, you can go into, I mean, that's some of the stuff, and then you can go into the actual mail itself and enhance those settings as well, like bump up the font and things of that nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have Esther who chatted in that she has seen advertised on the internet little gadgets one can attach to her devices for Wi-Fi in areas where it's not available. Is this legit? What's your recommendation for purchasing these devices?
Okay. Hey, Esther, you there?
Hold on. Esther, can you hear us? There we go.
Yeah, I can hear you. Carry on.
There you
Okay,
are.
great. So you're saying that you would like to buy one of those devices that will give you like Wi-Fi for wherever you are?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, are you normally out of range of Wi-Fi? Well, most of the places that you go, like give me an example of where you would like to get Wi-Fi when you're outside of your house.
Okay. Let's say, for instance, if I'm in a restaurant, I
Okay.
know that you can possibly access Wi-Fi airily. However, they're not secure, and I'm really kind of scared of attaching, plugging into somebody's Wi-Fi that I'm not sure about, because I've had issues with hacking and
Sure.
all of this. I'm just nervous, but I don't know about all of these devices that are advertised on the internet that you can plug into your iPad or whatever to get Wi-Fi. I don't know if they're secure either. I don't know if they're legitimate. So I wanted to ask you your advice.
Okay, that's great. I just wanted to make sure that where you were coming from and how I should answer it. So, what type of devices do you have?
I have an an iPad and a Kindle.
Okay, and what about a smartphone? What type of smartphone do you have?
No, actually, I have an Android, a dummy phone.
All right, no, that's cool. Androids are cool too.
They're cheaper.
So yes. They work. They're great. I like the ease of use of Apple products, but Androids are great too. Like if you know how to work with it, they're great devices. So you don't need to buy essentially one of these other devices nowadays. What I would do is maybe reach out to your carrier that you're using for your Android.
Okay.
Because a lot of times when you're paying for a cellular package, you can set that up as your Wi-Fi. So meaning that now if you're out at a restaurant and you want to connect your iPad or your Kindle or wherever you are to the internet, usually your cell phone is already connected to the tower, right? And that's how you're getting internet and all that other good stuff. So you could essentially set that phone up as a hotspot, which means AKA like Wi-Fi for your other devices, and then marry your Kindle and your iPad to that and use that, and don't pay any extra money for a service such as that, because they will sell you like something that you can take with you, and that will just give you another monthly charge. So I would reach out to whoever you're using. Like, who are you using for like your Android phone, like a T-Mobile?
I have Verizon, and I know exactly what you're talking about, but I was thinking it would be cheaper if I would purchase one of those little devices, which I would already pay for a one-time payment and be able to use it whenever I'm out and wanted Wi-Fi.
I've personally never seen a one-time payment for free Wi-Fi forever.
Okay.
If it exists, I just don't know about it. But normally the way it works, you could, these are monthly, but I don't know those companies that offer it, because it could certainly happen where you could pay for Wi-Fi for once and it just gives it to you forever. I don't know of a service like that, because I normally refer people to Verizon or Sprint, AT&T or T-Mobile, and they usually charge on a monthly basis for it.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Could I ask one more question?
Sure.
I have a Kindle that was a gift to me when I retired, and somehow I'm now locked out of it. Won't receive emails, and it's asking me to re-enter my Microsoft password. Well, I've had several past Microsoft passwords, and now I don't know which one it is, and I'm just having problems. So my question is there a service where I could take it to have them to reset it up, or maybe bypass the Microsoft password, whereby I could again receive emails?
For your Kindle,
Yes.
I would go to Barnes and Noble, because that's they I take that back. That's the Nook. You could go. I mean, I'm just trying to think. That's the Nook, but the Kindle, you may be able to go to a Whole Food store. So I find that some Whole Food stores, because they are owned by Amazon, they will have like a little section in there where they have Amazon Kindles where you can buy them, and they usually have like a rep on site. And I'm not sure if they offer that information online to say, hey, this particular store has that in it. But I know in my particular area, I went to one in Sunrise, Florida, which is about an hour away from me, and they had one on site. Other than that, you could just go to probably like maybe like a Best Buy, or get like a type of tech help service like what we provide in South Florida, where someone will come to your home and help you out with that as well.
Because I went to Best Buy, but Geek Squad told me that they do not service Kindle, and they didn't have information as to where I could take it to have it worked on.
Well, the last other option is you can always call up Amazon. They do have a good customer service support. I would Google it and do Amazon Kindle support or something like that, and they can walk you through. There's someone that I work with personally, and she's like, anytime I need to download a book, I just call them up and they just walk me right through it. So that might be an option as well.
Okay, thank you, Julius.
All right, you're very welcome.
Okay, Elaine is asking, she's trying to get her iPad and her iPhone to sync up.
Okay, cool. I think we have two questions like that, right?
There was that one, and let's see.
Yeah, and then Marguerite is asking the same thing.
Her
Okay.
contacts from her iPad mini that synchronized with her iPhone 5. So
Cool. So we can kill two birds with one stone. So the way to sync these two up, Marguerite and Elaine, is basically you want to have the same credentials on both. So when you log into your iPhone, you have that Apple ID. And sometimes people have the same Apple ID for iCloud and the iTunes or App Store, or they could be separate. So if you have the same one for iCloud, what you want to do here, I'll share this screen here. Give me 1 second. Share. Cool. Sharing and trust. All right, should be popping up any second now. Just waiting. All right, and gone. And just walk you right through it. So yeah, while I'm waiting for this to share, basically what you have to do is if you go into your settings, you should see at the very top your iCloud information. And I'm trying to make sure that this is going to share so I could just walk you right through it. Just did an update for both of these, but my iPhone has an update. Let's give it a second. And then if you have the credentials on both devices, your iPad and your iPhone, you should then be able to see that, you can kind of take the contacts, the calendars, and the photos and all of these different things that can share. Let me see here. I'm gonna try this one here. Try this other iPhone. This iPhone needs an update. Let's see. There it is. All right, so here we go. So once I go into my settings here, this is my personal phone. So this is my Apple ID for my iCloud account. And notice, like, you see that email address, mrjmcgee@me.com. And if you go down a little bit under media and purchases, it says mrjmcgee@gmail.com.
We can't see
I'm
your
one of
screen, Julius.
those.
It's
Oh, you can't see it?
no, it says that you're started to share, but it's coming up blank.
Okay, wait. Let's try that again. It's saying it's showing. How about now? Anything?
No.
No.
Okay. I literally just did an update on my Zoom and something
Still
told me
update.
not to do it.
Okay.
Because the Zoom is up to date and actually is way up to date and my phone's up to date, but one of these aren't sharing. So I'll walk you through it because I could see, I know all the steps. So what you want to do, Marguerite and Elaine, is go in there and just make sure you're signed into your iCloud account on both devices. If you are in the same account, and always pay attention to that email address at the very top. If you are, those things should be syncing. Now, if they're not and you're signed in, I would tell you to, once you tap on, when you go to your name and then you tap on iCloud, ensure that everything such as contacts, calendars, messages, Safari, all of those things are ticked green. And if they're all on green, make sure that that's the same thing on your iPad. If both of those devices are connected to the internet, which they should be, especially your Wi-Fi, you're in home, you should see that those things are starting to sync. Now, what I usually do for a test, I'll go to my contacts and type in Joe Schmo and add someone on one device and see if it pushes over to the other one. If it does, I then delete from the other one and then see if it deletes from the other one. And then that's how you can know that the contacts are syncing. Same thing with the calendar dates, but you don't have to do a lot of testing. If one of those things work, it should work for everything else that you have ticked off on the green. Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me. However,
Yeah.
Everything is synced except I can't write outgoing emails on my iPad. I can receive them. I receive the same ones as my iPhone does.
Yes.
And also I can't erase messages on one and have it erase on the other.
Okay, so the email, what's your email address? And you don't have to give me the whole email address, but what is it at Yahoo, at AOL?
AOL.
Okay,
AOL.
so iCloud does not sync the email, right? If it's a me account or an iCloud account, then yes, but as an AOL account, anything outside of Apple, it's kind of like its own entity. So the best bet for you from an AOL standpoint, I would just completely remove the account just to save you a lot of headache and trying to like go underneath the hood, remove the account from the mail and then just re-add it. And it should pull everything down from AOL and then test it out because you're gonna have to just put in your email address again and the password for your AOL account and then test to see if you're able to send and receive from that standpoint. So that's not the iCloud itself, that's AOL, that's the problem. Now, on the other end, if you're receiving text messages and those two aren't syncing, you want to, again, go through the iCloud, go to the settings, and then your Apple ID at the very top, and then tap on iCloud, and then make sure that messages is ticked off green on both. That should, in turn, allow you to sync all the messages, and then if you delete one here, it should delete on the other.
Okay, when I delete the AOL account off of I do that on my iPad. I mean, my iPhone.
Whichever one is giving you the problem. So if you can't send and receive on the iPad, remove it completely from there, and then just go and re-add it, and then that should fix your problem. Because otherwise, there would be too many steps to kind of try to walk you through. That's the easiest way of doing it. It's just deleting it and adding it back in there, and that should kick it right into gear for you.
Okay, and so, as I said, on my iPad, I can receive email, but
I can't send. This should fix that problem. Just completely remove it and re-add it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
and this is Marguerite. I'm the one where I can't call my contacts from my iPad, and I have them synchronized together. And I bought this new iPad, say 2 years ago, and I never could sync it up. On my phone, in my settings, I do have it to where I share my device and everything else. And I still can't call my contacts from my iPad mini 5.
So none of your contacts on your iPad, on your iPhone are going over to the iPad mini.
Only about 2 or 3 of them out of like, say 185.
So here's the question. If your contacts are on your iPhone 5, are there, right?
Yes.
And you're signed into the right iCloud account on both devices.
Yes.
The question would be, are you 100% sure that you're saving your contacts in iCloud and not maybe your email account?
Okay, I'll go back and check it. And
so the easiest way to check that, Marguerite, is for you to go onto the device that has the contacts. In this case, it'll be your iPhone 5.
Correct.
Go into your contacts, and then at the very top left, you have groups.
Okay.
And when you go into groups, tap on groups, and then see what's check marked on there, and then play around with it. You know, if it's iCloud and maybe your email account, make sure one is checked and then the other one's not, and then see which account everything lives in, and then do it the other. Uncheck that one and check the other one and see how many contacts you have in the other one. If it is for some reason in your email contacts, that's completely fine. You're just gonna have to use those same email contacts on your iPad as well, and then they'll sync.
Sync together. Then they will sync together.
Yeah, because it just depends on which one is actually carrying those contacts. I have a lot of times people will say, hey, my iCloud is syncing my contacts, and then I find out it's their Gmail or their Yahoo where they're saving everything on there. And then once we add it to the new device, boom, it works. So
it works. All right.
Check that first and then make sure.
All right, I will. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay, so Johnny had a question. She forgot how to copy a Facebook entry on another page to her own page. Does that involve the share button? So she wants to share, something on her page.
Yeah, so you're trying to like, so for instance, you're saying that like, let's say I post a picture or a poem or whatever, you want to copy that over, like you want to copy it so that you can share it, correct?
Yeah, I want to copy it to my page,
Sure. So I think that'll be the easiest way, like Nicole said, just sharing it, because then you're still kind of associating it with that person, but then you share it and then all your friends and family will be able to see that. And the
Right.
share button will do just that.
Okay, I couldn't
Yeah.
remember which, I looked at share and I consider that me sharing with other people. So I thought, I don't know if that's it.
Well,
Yeah, and it
not
wouldn't be-
everybody has a share button, though. There are some posts that they just don't enable it to be shared. If it's a private
Very true.
post on someone's private account, then
Yes.
then someone says, please enable the share button because I'd love to share, like a missing person or something, that please enable that button. They tell the person,
Yes.
because it's on a privacy feature. Most of them have share, but if there is something that doesn't, the person who's posted this has to enable the button so that you can share it. And then when you hit share, it will go on your page.
And
Okay.
everyone will be able to see it. And it's like, I know the confusion with that terminology share, like you said, it confused you to think you're going to share something else. But
Right.
just like what Nicole just said, I can then imagine I could just like take a video clip of that and then share it with all of you all. That's what it is. So it comes from her and then I can share it, but you'll see that she was the creator of that content.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I saw, Johnny, you had another question that you're not using your iCloud mail, just Gmail. Is it a good idea to use iCloud mail?
Yeah, I mean, I like iCloud Mail from a security standpoint, but I also like Gmail. I think they're equally secure.
Okay.
And I get this question all the time, like if I had to recommend an email platform to all of you right now, I would tell you to run with the most secure, either iCloud and or Gmail. I personally have both. A lot of like certain things I use for like my iCloud account, I do a lot with my bills, my banking, all of that stuff. And then my Gmail is just different stuff, but it's all personal. But I like both of those platforms because you just can't log into a Gmail account without you getting some legitimate alert, as well as an iCloud account. So they're both secure. And with all the hacking and scamming going on, I like those for everyone. They're really good. And it's not to say that AOL and Yahoo and Hotmail and Live and all of that other stuff is bad.
Right.
I just personally wouldn't recommend it because I love that the digital footprint that iCloud and Gmail has, because then you'll be able to see like who got into your email from where, if you ever had to go that far, but they're very, very secure.
Since you mentioned security, when the other lady asked about buying her Wi-Fi, I thought maybe I had taken care of that situation. You can tell me. I got VPN that I used for the desktop, for everything, for the phone. And I thought that helped to scramble so that, is that, because before when I'd go on vacation, I wouldn't even check my bank account or anything. I just was too scared to do it on the hotel's, Wi-Fi. But does this allow me to?
Certainly. So you have different ways of kind of insulating yourself against some intruders, right? So a VPN, which is a virtual private network, what that does is it kind of masks your IP address and it offers security. So when you are doing something, you can use it at home, you can use it when you're out and about. And that definitely helps. Using your own internet connection, again, if you're just off your cell phone, we're all connected to a cell tower, right? And a VPN in that case will make it just a little bit more secure. But when we're connected to that cell tower, it's us connecting to the cell tower and the other billion people that's on that same cell tower, right? Then if you take a step back and you're going to use one of these hotspots and or your phone, yes, that's going to offer you a little bit more security because you're not connected to the airport's Wi-Fi or the hotel's Wi-Fi. But what I usually tell people, like when I'm out and about, I just came back from Chicago. I connected my phone to the airport. Actually, I take that back. I connected it to the Wi-Fi on the plane. I felt very secure because when it comes down to the iCloud world or your banking world, Bank of America, Chase, all of these different websites, as well as iCloud and Google Drive, they all try to set up these barriers around them so that an infiltrator cannot just get into your system. Now, could there be a freaking Jason Bourne, Tom Cruise type of person lurking out there to log into your stuff? Absolutely. But then that would mean that you're probably a Jason Bourne, Tom Cruise type of person yourself, and they're trying to hack you. But it's always cool to, be as secure as possible. But I kind of I'm reliant upon where, and I'll give you this short answer just because it's just happened. There's a lady I'm working with right now who's very, very confident that someone's hacking her network and all her devices. I went there to kind of see what was happening and let her know, like, hey, I know a lot about cybersecurity. Let's see what's happening. What I found so far is just she's either entering her password wrong sometimes because she has some crazy passwords. And I'm like, well, she's like, see, I can't get in. They won't let me in. I'm like, well, let me try it. And we would get in. And I'm like, she's like, yeah, now they let you in. So there's a fear there because she's gotten hacked before. But I told her at the end of the day, I said, listen, I know enough about enough. When it comes down to cybersecurity, I would consider myself like I'm the Army of the Marines. All right. I know enough about enough. But if you need the Navy SEALs, I know a guy who is like next level forensics, like the real deal Holyfield. And I'm like, I can give you his number, but he's going to charge a lot of money. And he ended up speaking with her and he said, it doesn't seem like you're having that type of an issue. And I learned from him that when it comes down to all of these different accounts, such as a Gmail and, accessing your bank, when you go to the airport or to a Starbucks or outside of your home, those banks, which I talk about in the cybersecurity class, and we'll go more into it, but they have a secure connection for you at all times. So when you access their website, you access their app, you kind of go into this vault in their world where it's almost, and I say almost, emphasis on that word, unhackable, because everything is within their world and everything is being encrypted from what you're doing. But if somebody has said, hey, like, Johnny, download this app on your computer and then I can see everything you're doing. Well, Bank of America is still secure, but you allowed the infiltrator to come into your house and get into your computer. So that's how they're able to really get into your accounts at that standpoint. So VPNs are great. And, secure emails are great. Having a secure connection is great. Do everything that you need to do to protect yourself. But I also don't want to scare you all to say, they're really hacking you, because the way it works, and I've said it in all my classes, you can't really, the burglar, we usually let the burglar inside of our house. We literally open the door because they say, well, I need to get into your computer, and they give them access. So that's how it usually happens versus you just having someone automatically log into your device and get inside. So I want that was really important. I'm sorry I took too long on that, but I think you all should know that. I don't want you to be scared out there, but also just be very cautious as to what you're doing and be very.
You didn't take too long. You didn't take too long.
Okay, great.
No,
Well,
just
just
right.
be very diligent as to who you let in your house, because I see it a lot. And that's how it happens. That's how people get hacked and scammed, because they give people their passwords and let them log into their devices when they really don't know. Yeah. So I do have a question. It's AL secure. I'll just knock that one out, Nicole.
Okay.
It's not that it's not secure. It wouldn't be my first recommendation. There are certain things that you could do now to make AOL secure, set up two-step verification. And this was from Hannah, two-step verification to ensure that even if someone has your password, they still need to send a text to your phone and or your email in order to get in there. And I would do that on every account.
Okay. So Susie had asked,
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
okay, so Susie, her son transferred photos on his phone directly to her phone, to her photo album on her phone, and she wants to know how she can do that with her cell phone photos directly to someone else's.
Julius,
Okay.
he sent his photos directly to my photo album. Like I thought I had to go to messages or email, but he sent it directly to my photo album. So I want to know how to do that.
Yeah, so it's a really cool feature. I'm assuming that he used what we call AirDrop.
Yeah.
And so AirDrop, it's this feature that's really awesome. And if you turn it on, I would turn it on and make sure that it's let me just get the verbiage correct. It's okay, so AirDrop, you have this option to have the receiving off, contacts only, or everyone. I would recommend that if you all have an iPhone and you turn this feature on, to have it on contacts only. That's first and foremost, all right? The second part is when you, let me just see if I can share this. I want to be able to show you because it's not. Updates are great, folks, but sometimes they aren't so great in this particular situation. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I could share this here. And okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Is that
Okay,
your
cool.
baby? Is
Yes,
that-
and I got more pictures to show you all at the end. That's the little guy right there.
He's adorable.
Thank you. So if I have an iPhone 13, so if I swipe down from the top, I get this screen here. And this, if you have an iPhone 8 and below, you can swipe up from the bottom screen and then you'll be able to get that.
I have a 13.
Okay, perfect. So one finger from the top, very top right of your screen. And basically what I'll do is I'll press this really hard and then this pops out for me. And then you see where it says AirDrop everyone.
Yes.
Don't do what I do. You want to tap on that and you want it to have on contacts only, okay?
Yes. Okay.
So AirDrop is contacts only. And then when you want to send something, so let's say you go to, let me just go here to some photos. Let me open this photo here. Let me go here. Here's my little puppy. So here's a photo, right? And if you wanted to send this photo or multiple photos, you notice when I like it's check mark and it's only one photo selected, but if I have multiple photos, I can actually tap on AirDrop. And when I tap on AirDrop, they have to be in the vicinity. So these are the different people that are in the vicinity, and your son did that because you were right there next to him, where you would tap on that person, and when you do it, they would just push right over to you. You don't have to email, you don't have to text, and it's one of the easiest ways to send a photo or multiple photos and videos to someone.
Okay. So I'm trying to do that, slide my finger down and I'm not getting it.
So you want to go to the very top right of your screen, all the way at the top, and just pull your finger down, one finger.
Got it.
And then once you do that, you can press that little top left box until it pops open for you.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, and then press that bottom option until it pops open for you.
Okay.
And just make sure it's on contacts only. And what that means is when you're around someone, it'll be in your contacts. You can only send and receive from your contacts only, so that it's just safer that way. And then when you're around someone, you can just that little share button at the bottom left there, like you were going to send it via email or text, you tap on that and AirDrop will be on your left right there.
Okay.
So sometimes
then
you
you'll
could be
be-
like in a restaurant doing it and your son's next door, your friend, and they're in your contacts. And then you get like Mike's iPhone at the next table.
Exactly.
And you end up sending a picture of the dog to Mike and he's looking at it
Yes.
like, well, what's happening here? You know, so that's what that means when it says just your contacts. Because in a public facility, a lot of people's share is on and you can really send. and-
Yeah, plus
Yeah.
you don't want to get someone to share some random crazy photo
Yeah.
and put the quotes on crazy for you all. And because it has happened. So just be careful, keep it on contacts only. And that's the safest way. Yes.
I have another question.
Yes.
When you get a text, someone sends you a picture or something,
Mhm.
oftentimes it looks like a mirror image. In other words, they're wearing a t-shirt and the letters are, you know, backwards. Why is that?
I'm not sure. Is it a selfie that they're sending you?
No, any picture, like often, like, it's just the mirror image. It's not the actual image.
I haven't, like, usually when I receive a text, it's normally just like the right way that they've sent it to me. Is there a particular person that it happens to, or all your photos that you're
No,
receiving?
not all of them.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not photos that someone's sending me. It's, I don't know, a reel or something, or,
Like something from like a TikTok or like Instagram?
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I know Snapchat reverses it, like, you know, where like certain platforms do have reverse, and there is a thing that you can just reverse the picture, like you could save the picture and then just reverse it and it comes out where you can read the shirt.
It's not important because
Yeah.
I don't care, but I
Yeah.
just wondered if there was a reason for that.
Yeah, I guess it's like Nicole said, on certain platforms, but normally if I send you an image, Susie, it should come up exactly how I took it. That's
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I do. I get that. Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Julius. You're so
All right.
good.
You're welcome, Susie. My pleasure.
Okay, so Julie, I know you're, Ken was having some issues. Did we get, Ken is in this chat.
Yeah.
So is
No,
or
he
is
changed
out?
he changed computers and he could get on.
Okay, so he's on.
We're not sure why, but it kept asking for a password.
Okay.
But no, my question is, after you did your cloud session last week, I'm very new to these smartphones, and I tried to do a backup to, I guess, Google Drive.
Yes.
But I made a Google account, which I usually don't use for my email.
Mhm.
And I thought I backed it up and it started to go, and it started out with, because most of mine, I guess, are just pictures or contacts. That's about all I have on my phone.
Sure.
And it started out and it said like 700 items to copy or
Okay.
copying or back up 700 items. And then it was going down, down, down. It was pretty quick. But then I didn't realize it was going to take so long. And then I was going to bed and it was still like counting down, but it had gotten to about 30. And then it stopped when it hit 2, and it is still sitting there. I mean, this is like 4 or 5 days later, and it
Mhm.
still says backing up 2 items. And I can't imagine what it is. I don't do anything with this phone, and I can't get it to stop it either.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you can always log into that Google account that you set up.
I did, and the only thing I can find on there is the photos are under the photo gallery or whatever.
Yeah.
That's all I can find.
Yeah, maybe if, like, let's say, because you set up like a Gmail account, correct?
Yeah, just a
Or-
Gmail account.
Okay, so you could probably, if you log into, like, the easiest way, well, one of the ways, gmail.com, and maybe you ran out of storage. They allot you 15 gigabytes of free storage.
Right.
So
It says that I only use like 2.1.
So
If
you
I
only
look
use
on
two-
Drive, if I look on the Drive where it says the 15, it says 2.1 of 15.
Yeah, so if you haven't even used the full
No.
I
don't have that much.
gigabytes. Yeah, I would say maybe making sure that your phone is connected. Is it connected to the Wi-Fi in the house as well?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to say why without seeing it,
Okay.
what's stopping it. But you could, I mean, there's no number you can actually call for the Google side of things. Maybe
Do
you
I
could,
take it
like,
to a phone store? I mean, it's been backing up for like 4 or 5 days.
yeah, it shouldn't be, especially if it got down to 2 items. Maybe you can, like, power the phone off and power it back on and see if that changes it.
No,
If
I've
not,
done that every night.
yeah, I would, maybe
And if
take
I,
it to-
where you close the apps, with a little
Yeah.
3 bars,
Sure.
that doesn't do anything for this backup thing.
Yeah, that's weird that it got stuck. I mean, especially that you got, that much more space. I mean, normally I see that happen when you run out of space and then it'll say, hey, pay
Right.
me, and then I'll continue to back up.
Yeah.
But if that's not the case in yours and it doesn't seem like it, I would definitely take it to someone that can physically, put their hands on the phone and see what's going on.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome, Julie.
Okay, so Shirley had a question that her iPhone will not notify her when she gets a message, but messages show up on her phone call list.
Oh,
So
wait.
Shirley, you there? Hang
Yep,
on.
I'm trying to unmute. There I go.
All
Yes,
right,
I
there we
it
are.
didn't do that, but more recently, the phone it won't notify me for a message, but then I look at my phone list and it comes up as if I've had a call.
So wait, so so if I were to call you, it wouldn't, this is a voicemail message or a
If you
text
were to
message?
if you were to call me, I would get a ring. But if you were
Okay.
to send me a message, I would not get a notification.
Like a
But when I look
text.
at my list of calls, it would show up that you had called me.
So if I send you a text message, you're saying that it's going to show up in your list of calls?
Yes.
Okay. But also if I send you a text message, you don't get a notification.
Yes.
Okay. Which phone do you have, Shirley?
Samsung.
Okay. And you have there's a couple of things that you could check. One, to make sure that your text message notifications are on.
Okay.
And you could do that right in the settings when you swipe down from the top, and then you might see that little gear. And then you tap on the gear, even if you don't know just where to go, usually have a search bar on top and you can do notifications, and then just make sure that that's turned on. In addition to that, make sure you don't have it. I know you have the feature, there's features where you can have it on like kind of like do not disturb. But I would just check the notifications. I have seen where it was one case, and it was recent, like maybe in the last couple of months, where we checked everything and it was just something, there was no notifications working, and it turned out to be the actual phone itself. We did the updates, powered it off, did a hard reset, and it was just a fluke with the actual phone. And when they got a new device, everything worked perfect. So I would check the notifications, because that just seems off that you're not getting anything that notifies you that you got a text.
When I open the notifications, it just when I open the notifications, I'll call you back. When I open the notifications, I don't see anything that indicates for the volume for notifications in there.
So
like it used to be there.
It could be in the sounds. So if you go into like you could check the sound, and the sound should let you know which notification that you have for text messages, for emails, for phones. That's one option. But then also, if the notifications are turned off, you have every app in there that it has like its own settings. And so you can make sure that the notifications are on or off for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then worst case, Shirley, if you're still having problems, you can also call your phone carrier and see if they could, walk you through, or like a T-Mobile, whoever you have, and, even visit a store to make sure that everything is ticked on right if you're having problems as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. The other question, right quick, if I may, is
Sure.
when my phone will come on, I go to look at my gallery for something and it'll say that it's 99 things are showing and you have to take one away, or that I've taken off all my pictures and everything, but it
Yeah.
still says that there's a lot of information there and I can't figure out where it is to take it out.
Ooh, that's a hard one. If when it comes down to storage, if you can go into the storage, it should kind of show you what is taking up the space and where it
Right.
lives. On Android phones, the benefit and the curse is that you can have 2 sets of storage, and sometimes it's saved to like an SD card, and sometimes it's saved to the phone itself. So you want to make sure where your information is being saved. And if it's telling you that it's somewhere else, it's hard to walk you through it, but I know exactly what you mean. But I would have someone just kind of confirm, maybe from the phone carrier itself, if you can go and reach out and touch someone, so you can confirm where it's being saved and how it's being saved, and then go and find that missing information.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Julius.
All right, you're welcome, Shirley.
Okay, so Archana was on Zoom yesterday for a presentation, and the people could not hear her, but she could hear them. She had unmuted, when they prompted her to unmute, and it's just still not working. Archana, can you hear us now? If we unmute you, can you hear us? Hold on. Let's see, if you want to try and unmute. Hang on. Okay, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you hear us now and you can unmute, and we hear you.
Yes.
So, I don't know what
Yeah,
that
is it possible, Archana, that like maybe how like when you join the Zoom call, you ever see that option? Like when I joined the My Health Angel Zoom call today, even before I was allowed in, there was a little option at the bottom to say test the mic and the speaker. Have you ever seen that?
No, I don't see it. All I see is mute and unmute button. But
Well-
I'm hitting the speaker. Can you hear me, Julius?
Oh yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay, thank you. Because I wanted to know if you can hear me, why the other party could not hear me. There was a big presentation on finances. So the people, there were 2 of them on Zoom meeting, and they could not hear me. I could hear them though, but I missed all their conversation. I mean, they missed my questioning to them. So I thought maybe I was doing something wrong, or should I do something myself on the screen? They told me.
No, I mean, I don't know what was going on during that call, but I can hear you loud and clear. How about everybody else? Can you all
Yeah.
hear? Yeah, we
Yeah.
hear you
Yes.
fine here. So I don't think you did anything wrong, but just for the future, like if you were to join, there's an option to always test your mic and your speaker, just to ensure that. And like anytime like you join a My Health Angel seminar, before they let you into the room, it's really tiny at the bottom, but there's that big white screen and you'll see their logo, and it says test mic and speaker, or speaker and mic, whichever order. And I click on it all the time, and just to make sure that it works. There have been times where it happened to me where I had my headphones plugged into it or something else, and I have to restart my computer just to kind of kick it back into gear. So I would encourage you to test it. But for right now, I know you can hear me and I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, because I have some future Zoom meetings coming up in September and October. I'm out of town. I'm based in Chicago. I do a lot of remote hearings with the court system and the judges. So I have some coming in September first week, so I don't want to miss those. Those are important.
Yeah.
I thought if I can fix my problem, that will be good. Thank
You
you.
already fixed it. You did a
Yeah,
good job.
We hear you.
If you're looking for a job, talk to me.
Right.
I
There you
appreciate it.
go. All right, so Anita, should I have my private relay beta turned off or on for privacy under Apple ID?
Oh, that was Rita?
Anita.
Anita. Yeah, hey Anita. So this feature is a new feature. I would say for now, maybe turn it off. Unless you feel very comfortable with it. What a private relay is, it's sort of like what Johnny and I were talking about, like a VPN. So Apple on your behalf is like, hey, we want to try to protect you from a lot of stuff that goes on out there. And that private relay, it just came out in the last update, which was around last September. I've played around with it. There's two things that came out. That was the private relay. And then in addition to that, there was an email address where, let me just see, hide my email feature. So that if you sign up for something, that company doesn't get your real email, but you could still receive the things that you signed up for. And it's very confusing for some people, but the private relay, and just for all of you that don't know about it, what she's talking about, and I'm just going to read it right from here. iCloud Private Relay keeps your internet activity private. So there are a lot of VPN type of services out there that you pay for. This just comes with your device for free. And it says Private Relay hides your IP address and browsing activity in Safari and protects your unencrypted internet traffic so that no one, including Apple, can see both who you are and what sites you're visiting. So it's in beta testing right now, which there's a lot of bugs in it. So if you do have any issues where it prevents you from accessing a certain site, it's in beta. So maybe when it's out of beta, that means that they've tested it enough and it's working great. But right now it's only in beta and you can turn it on. If you have problems, you can always turn it off. So I have mine turned off for right now. I know how it works and I know the goal of it, but I just have it turned off just so I won't have any issues.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, Sheila, go ahead if you want to unmute.
Yes, when you were talking about AirDrop, you were talking about iPhones, but I don't see the AirDrop on. I have an Android, so is it a similar setting to?
Yeah, so AirDrop that's owned by Apple. Let me see what you guys have on the Android. They have, they have Android AirDrop, which is supposed to be a let me see. It's supposed to be the same type of option, but I am looking for. Yeah, they have a lot of different things, and it's not just because you know how Android phones, you have some made by Google, Samsung, and so forth. The platforms are not consistent. Like Apple only makes Apple iPhones, right? So that AirDrop is going to be on pretty much every iPhone that can take AirDrop.
Okay.
But I'm looking right now.
I got a Samsung Android.
Yeah, so they have, there's a bunch of different ways to share it. Let me just see on Samsung. AirDrop. Samsung has its own alternative to AirDrop, and it's called Nearby Share.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's called. So, and it uses Bluetooth. Let me show you here. Let me share my screen. So here it is right here. It says AirDrop for Android.
Okay.
And basically it's called, nearby share. So this is the
Okay.
option right here. And what you'll have to do, and if you wanted to like, you know, Google this or go like look up your phone and look up this option, you'll be able to find out a little bit more. And that's what I did.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
once you turn on your Bluetooth, you'll be able to share those files using the nearby share option.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Sheila.
Okay, Barbara Waldron, go ahead.
Yeah, Julius, first, I was late. I was out and came in late, and I hate to miss any part of what you had to say.
Sure.
But a few questions, 2 questions ago, someone asked, and I have a similar situation. Now, I hear you clearly, and I'm sure you can hear me, right?
Yes.
But there is some programs like Silver Sneakers. I do exercise with them. I can hardly hear it. And like my church service, I can hardly hear it. I turn up all the volume, I'm still not hearing. And I'm wondering if I need a new computer or is there a way to solve that problem? Because some people I hear, some programs I hear, like I'm hearing you, but some again, it's very frustrating.
Well, you know, Barbara, so it's a great question. So it's, if you're hearing us very well, everybody on this call, I would say it's not your speakers.
Really?
I'm using a pretty solid mic, and it seems like everybody on this call is using a pretty solid mic that comes with their device, and I'm able to hear them like I can hear you loud and clear. If you're able to hear us, the best test would be, let's say you're able to hear my Zoom call, but then, you know, Nicole's your church, and then Dorothy is the workout site. If you can't hear those two, but every time you and I get on and you never adjust anything, that means it's them and not you. Because sometimes it's the way their microphone is set up and how you're able to hear them. So I wouldn't tell you have to run out and get a new computer, but it's usually their microphone itself. You can always try to turn up the volume, but again, if you leave it the same, you jump off with us, get on with your church 2 minutes later, and you can't hear them, and then jump back on with us and you haven't adjusted anything, it's them and it's not you.
Because in my mind, they have like sometime over 500 people exercising. Nobody's complaining about they cannot hear.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought maybe it's me, it's my computer.
Hello, can I say something? I also attend that Silver Sneaker. Usually they have a music along with those exercises, and music is loud, so you cannot hear instructor's voice.
Okay, yeah, sometimes they're a little far from, like if they're standing away from where their mic is, and if they don't have a mic on their shirt, it's a little hard, because we have a presenter, let's say Eliana come on, she's standing away demonstrating an exercise, and when she's not right at her computer, it doesn't pick it up precisely the way right now how we're on top of it. Could be the reason. I mean, I can't imagine this Zoom you hear, that, you know, I don't know. I mean, are there other people that you're friends with in there that hear it fine?
No, I don't know everybody.
Yeah.
No, it's just on the line. I know people,
Yeah.
but not really. But I would hear their music.
Yeah.
I don't hear them, you know, and
I would
some,
maybe, perhaps maybe ask them, Barbara, just say, ask them, and like maybe on the side, or reach out to them and just say, are you guys using that personal mic? Because we're all pretty close to our devices. So if one does step away, we have a client that we work with. It's actually a church, and they do a lot of stuff on Zoom, and we've had to set them up with a personal microphone so that everyone can hear them, because if they are just doing it from a computer mic, it wouldn't be sufficient and people will have audio problems. So I would ask them, maybe reach out to their customer service or like some type of email and just ask if other people are complaining about that, or if they are using a microphone where you can hear their voice over the music, and see if they can, you know, change that. But if you can hear us okay, I can tell you that, you know, unless your speakers are dying out and it's oscillating, going back in, but every time if you hear us, you always hear us loud and clear, I would say it's probably them.
Well, I thank you for that because I'm almost to the point thinking it's my computer and I should get a new computer.
No, and even then, I would say you probably wouldn't have to get a new computer. You can go and buy a set of speakers or a speaker that even if your speakers were going bad, before you have to go and have this big bill, you can go and just buy a set of speakers for a fraction of the cost, a super duper small fraction of the cost, and plug that up to your computer and enhance those speakers so that you'll be able to hear. So that's an option.
Thank you for that information. I'm going to try buying the small speakers.
Okay.
Because I doubt my speakers are going bad because I hear you all the time. I hear My Health Angel all the time. So I don't think it's my speakers.
No, probably not. And yeah, just reach out to them and see. And if not, you can always buy that set of speakers just to enhance it.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
So Angela had a question. How do you get iCloud Mail? She's using AOL Mail currently.
Okay, yeah, Angela, you have an Apple device?
Angela,
yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the easiest way, if you were to go into, let me see here, because they've changed iCloud around a little bit. So if you were to go into, let me show you here. Can you see my phone, Angela?
Yes.
Okay, so if you were to go in here to iCloud, and I'm right here, and I choose that one where it says iCloud, and then where it says iCloud Mail. Now I already have one, but if you don't have one, you'll have to tick that thing on, and then you can create an email. It'll allow you to create an iCloud email, and then you'll go through a series of steps where you'll be able to choose what name you have. So let's say you had, 123 Sesame Street at AOL.com right now. You could try to get that same name at iCloud.com, and you would go through the series of steps. Now, I couldn't walk you through because I already have one, but this is where you would go and set that up in the iCloud Mail, and you would tick that on, and then it'll allow you to create an email account.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, and I see there's the last question here is coming in from Esther. Is there a way to extend save times for articles and folders from 3 months to indefinite? My archives folder is becoming longer and longer, and I have a Verizon server.
So way to extend save times, and where exactly are you doing this, Esther?
Okay, if I wanted to take messages from my email and put them in folders, and the designated time for keeping those folders from Verizon is 3 months. But I'm wondering, is there a way to bypass that and extend the 3 months to maybe indefinite or until I want to delete?
So these folders, these are your email folders?
Yeah, that I've created to save articles, messages, or whatever, so that my regular email won't go beyond 2,000-3,000 because I have problems deleting stuff. So
I'm glad you're being honest.
But when I place things from my email to the folders that I have created, the keeping time from Verizon is 3 months, and then they automatically delete it. So I'm just wondering, is there a way to extend that time?
Yeah, so your email address, is that the MSN email that you're talking about?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Verizon shouldn't have any license to tell you what the time limit, unless it's, if you're using their mail app on the Verizon phone, that's different. But your email, the server is actually MSN or Live or Microsoft. However you access your email, that's the head honcho, the one that creates the rules and regulations as to how long you keep those folders. I only know them when I set them up, they're indefinite until you delete them, and they stay that way. So if you can go to, I would log into like live.com probably to access your, MSN, Hotmail, Live, and I think it might be one more, or outlook.com. Those are all accessed via, that's Microsoft stuff.
Okay.
So if you log into the server itself, that you should be able to go and see the time frames, but most of them are by default that I know of. It's usually indefinite until you actually go in there and delete it. Now, if you are using the mail app on your Verizon phone and that's controlling those folders, then you would have to go into those settings on that particular mail app in the settings on your phone. But those are two different things, because you should be able to keep those as long as you want.
Okay. I think you're right. It is Microsoft, not Verizon, that designates. So you're saying to go into the Microsoft, log into Microsoft?
Yeah, I would log into view your email on that, whatever site. Normally it changes. I think you can go to Outlook or you can go to Live, wherever it is. Go to Outlook and go and log into your email, and then go and look at the folder setup and see how that's actually set up for you, and if you have a time frame on that. If you did set up a time frame, then I would change it to indefinite, so you can always keep those there.
Okie dokie. Thank you, Julius.
All right, you're very welcome.
Okay, well, again, this has been a fabulous technical assistance hour, and some.
We have to see your pictures of your little guy.
Oh yeah. Frida left too, so let her know I showed him, so she doesn't beat me up next time.
Can I have one quick question?
Certainly.
I put it in the chat, but it didn't come up. I just am trying to. I logged you in on my computer. I have an iMac, right? And it's coming up that this application cannot be opened. So I then went to my iPad and I have you on. It's giving me that I can't open this application and a number. That's all. And those two figures, it's got a man's head and it's blue on one side and white on the other.
Yeah, so it's like the little Finder application.
Yes.
And what is it saying for you?
It's saying that this application cannot be opened. And the thing that's concerning me is that I can't get it into my medical records. I'm in New York and everything has gone, computer and tech savvy. So I had blood tests drawn and the results are there, but they're saying to me that I cannot open this application. And I've always been able to get into it.
And does it tell you like a way to fix it? Like you can click on a button or something?
No, all it does is this application cannot be opened. It gives me a number 10673 and then a little box that says okay. But when you hit okay, then it just goes off.
Hang on. Let me see here. Okay, I know what you're talking. I see it. So you have the Finder little dude.
Yeah.
And I see that error right now. So one of the things that you could do, I would say have you tried to restart your computer at all to force quit it?
No, it just happened. Just before I was getting on to you, I was trying to get into my medical record, and then it was 4 o'clock already, and I couldn't get in. And then the same thing happened on my Mac, but on my computer, but it's not happening on my iPad.
Yeah, because completely different system. So I would try what you could do is you can go up to the black apple at the top left, and then you can go to force quit. When you go to force quit, click on the Zoom application, the Zoom app, And then on the bottom right of that little screen, click force quit, and then try to open it again. If you get the same error, I would restart your computer.
Okay.
And then try it again. Usually when you restart, when you click on the black apple and click restart, there's this little box that comes up and it'll say, are you sure you want to restart your computer now? But then underneath that, there's a little checkbox that says reopen Windows when logging back in. I would uncheck that and then restart. That'll kind of refresh your computer and then see if it'll open for you at that standpoint. If not, I would say having like, you know, an Apple support kind of log in and make sure, you know, you could just Google Apple support number to see what's going on. But I've seen that code itself is basically just giving you an error from the computer itself. And there's really no rhyme or reason. It just happened periodically. But if you do that restart or first force quitting it, if that doesn't work, then the restart. And if that doesn't work, I would, you know, have someone take a look at it from Apple.
Okay. Thank you so much, Julius. I love you, love you, love you.
Oh, you're very welcome. My pleasure. So I'll show you folks these pictures.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's getting so big. And we just took this one the other day and he's just reaching and
That's so cute.
Right now he's in the stage of this one's really funny. My wife cannot work without him being just on her all the time. Yeah. So it's just nonstop.
That is amazing.
Julius, hug a lot. That's all I can say. Hug a lot. It goes quick. Before you know it, they're going off to college and you don't see them again. Hug a lot.
Yes, absolutely. I love hanging out with this dude, but right now he's in a stage where his mom is his favorite. It just started like a couple of weeks. And so, you know, sometimes I'm like, you know, he'll look at me right when she picks him up and I'm like, all right, we're not friends today. Get out of here, beat it. But it's fine. I'm usually his friend in like 2 minutes right after that. But yeah.
He's adorable.
He's adorable.
He's getting there. He just turned 8 months yesterday. It's like,
oh,
it's
wow.
So cute.
That has gone really
eyes.
yes.
I remember
He
when she
resembles you, Julius.
Hey, tell my wife
it's
that.
too
Everyone tells her he looks just like her. So
He looks like you.
Thank you.
It's a good combo. It's a good combo.
Yes.
And Julius, if he's nursing, only mom can do that too.
I know.
And he knows it.
Exactly. She's the coolest person in the house right now.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Thank you so much for sharing. That was wonderful.
So
No,
just so everyone knows, yeah,
I'm glad you all
We
get a
see
lot
the
of.
playpen in your background there.
Oh yeah, we got him that. I was telling Nicole, you know, she saw it. I said, you know, I got a big enough one because I want to play with the toys too, so I can fit in there as well.
they definitely upgraded the size because those were not the size back in the day. They were much smaller. So that's.
Is there a way to contact you if you have if a problem comes up?
Yeah, certainly. So you can always go to nerdalert.com and, you know, reach out to us there. You can reach out to my help angel. They have our contact information.
Thank you.
Hello@nerdalert.com as well as a good email as well.